Will somebody please set off an air horn in here? Thanks, sound guy. Why am I firing an air horn at the start of this video? It's because today you can start your blog on Podia. That's right, we've launched a whole new blogging platform on Podia. And it's got all of the features that you would expect from a blogging platform, including an easy-to-use website builder, a great place to write and import your posts, SEO options to help you rank more easily, it's integrated with your email marketing, and all of the other tools that you already use to run your business. I'm going to tell you all about that in this video, including a demo of the actual product. We'll talk about pricing, but spoiler alert, it's free for everyone to use. And we'll talk about all the different ways that you might want to use Podia blogging in your business. But before I do that, we asked a huge number of our users before the product actually launched to have a go, to give it a test and see whether it worked for them. And I gotta tell you, they built some really beautiful blogs. So I put together this short video to show you what those all look like. Ready? Let's do it. You see what I mean? These all look great. Now, thousands of online business owners use Podia every day to build and host their websites, manage their email marketing, and sell their digital products. And when we thought about building a blogging platform that would really meet the needs of people who are already building great business online, and the needs of those who are going to be able to do that in a joined up way for the first time ever because of the launch of blogging on Podia, well, we felt like it was a big challenge, but here's what we did. We did more of what we do all day, every day at Podia. We simply asked our current customers what they needed. We do that a heap here. And here's what we heard. First of all, your blog has to look great right out of the box. I mean, that feels obvious. It comes first. It has to look nice, and it has to be easy to make it look nice and different. So Podia blogs have a clean, professional look before you touch a single setting. And publishing a blog post is as easy as copy-pasting in your text. Next up, you have to be able to customize it to look how you want. Now, usually a platform makes you choose between easy and beautiful and customizable, right? But we heard from you that you wanted a bit of both. And so Podia blogs look great from the start, but you can also customize them to change colors, fonts, width, text size, and other design elements, as well as adding images and embeds to your posts. And then what did we say earlier? We said SEO, SEO, SEO. It's gotta work good with Google and other search engines. You don't need crazy technical SEO plugins with loads and loads of features, but simple SEO features and blog posts that can rank in search are a must-have for a modern blogging platform. And then an easy connection to email. Now, a newsletter is the best way to get people to read your blog posts, and you have to be able to send your blog posts via an email newsletter. Well, Podia lets you do that in just a couple of clicks with Podia Email. Or there are 8 other email integrations to choose from if you want to. But I use Podia Email. I recommend you do too. It's pretty great. And you should be able to run as much of your business in one place as possible. Now, Podia blogging lets you move your blog to the same place as your email list, your digital products, and the rest of your websites. And that, friends, is what online business owners told us about what they wanted from a blogging platform. And pal, that's what we built. And we've really loved hearing about what people have been doing with Podia blogging too. Now, over 40 of the beta testers as my American colleagues tell me, also shared their thoughts on why they decided to go with Podia blogging. And they did it on their own blogs. Now, not to blow our trumpets, but these are pretty great. Here is Podia Pro Glenn Long. He says, what's most exciting is that once you're blogging on Podia, a world of possibilities opens up. And that's because Podia already has the features like email marketing that you need to grow your blog, and those you need, like digital products, to build a profitable business around it. So if you've decided that it's time to start a blog, or you're already blogging, but you're feeling frustrated or restricted by your platform, give Podia Blogging a try. It's easy, intuitive, and even fun. It's exactly how blogging should work. It's pretty great. Or Gwelda Retman from BC Women's Business Network. She says, I know that the ability to share with my community is very important, and it's the same for so many women in business. Your ability to increase your visibility as an authority in your field will help build your network. One of the best options with Podia is the ease of blogging, and it is important to me that it's all part of the same platform as the rest of my site. Or as John Sabillon from Jardin said, I spent around 8 years blogging on Squarespace. Now it was reliable, user-friendly, and offered decent customization options. However, as I delved deeper into the world of DJing, I craved more. I wanted to have an all-in-one space where my music, courses, coaching, and blog could coexist seamlessly instead of being scattered across different platforms. Podia's announcement of blogging features was like a perfectly timed remix. I loved reading every single one of those posts. It was wonderful. And a lot of the reviews of Podia Blogging have talked about how easy it is to get started, particularly when people who have used other platforms switch to Podia for their blog. And so look, while I'd love to show you more of the lovely things that our customers are saying about Podia Blogging, let's take a minute to look at how easy it is to get started with your Podia blog. And in celebration of all the plants around me, I thought I'd set up a blog for my very real, honestly, business, Desk Bloom. So let's take a look together now. Now I have my site here, Desk Bloom, as I said earlier, and I'm going to start by looking at the actual site. So right now we've got the site here that I've built, which I published earlier, and it looks lovely, right? Thank you. Thanks for saying that. I really appreciate it. And basically my company Desk Bloom, which I definitely incorporated, is an office greening company. Now, what I want to do is right now I have 3 areas. So I'm already selling my courses on Podia. I already have some consulting opportunities. Now I can take those bookings through Podia, through the coaching sessions functionality. But I also want to add some content. Now, the reason I'd want to add some content is because, frankly, not everybody is ready to buy a course. Not everybody is ready, definitely, to dive into consulting, where I go to the office with a bunch of plants, and hopefully they're real ones and not these ones right here, which are definitely real. But let's say that I'm going to start my blog today, because I am, and you're going to watch me do it, so strap in. In Podia, what you'll see is some variation of this. Now, my account is pretty new here, so you'll probably see something like this too. And what I want to do is I want to go to this tab right here, blog, and I'll click blog posts. Now, first time that I do this, there won't be anything. And in fact, I'll have to click this button here. So here is what you'll be greeted with the first time you use it. Setting up the blog is actually really easy. So we'll just click set up blog and we're done, right? That was simple. I can stop this video right now, or I can show you the rest of the functionality, which I think you're going to like. So the first thing is that we'll see is that there are a couple of posts here that kind of welcome us to the blog. Now, you can go ahead and look at those. So for example, this one. And when you click on one of them, you'll see stats about the post. I'm going to click edit. And you can see that you get this kind of editor, which is not dissimilar to how other things look, except that it's much cleaner. There's no complicated options right up here to like fiddle around with. Instead, you just type hello world. And then if you want to add in some rich text or something, you just do a /. And you have all these options. You can choose images, files, embeds, buttons, dividers. You can also manage your formatting here. So heading 1, heading 2, large text, normal text, small text, bullet text. Wow, I go down that list and read, you'll get bored as anything. So I won't do that. I'll leave you to explore later. But you can see, you can do a whole lot of stuff here. And if you've used Podia before, you'll recognize these because they're very similar to what exists in other parts of the product. You can change the alignment, bolding, italics, strike through. You can highlight text with different colors. You can add links. You can even add links to other bits of your product. You can add some code, and you can add a block quote as well. Lots of things to do there. But let's just go back to the posts panel here. I'm actually going to go and delete these posts now. So to do that, because they're sample posts and I don't want everyone to see them, I can either click unpublish or I could click delete. So let's click unpublish on the first one. And now that won't show up on my blog anymore. And in fact, if I wanted to delete them, I would just click delete. And then I would be offered a quick little thing here to say, do you want to delete it? You won't be able to recover it because you won't. Don't write in. I'm warning you. You can write in anytime. We love hearing from you. I'm going to click unpublish for all of these too. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to write a new post. So let's click write new post. Now what I want to do, so when I'm greeted with this blank space, I can just write the title of the post. Now this is the title. This is the only place you can do it. This is where it will come from. And this is what you will see. So sample post. And then I can just go and type. So here's some sample text that I'm using to demonstrate Podia blogging. And then I can put in an image. So let me click image. And I can add an image, but I'm just going to leave that for now. This is not a particularly compelling blog post. So I wanted to show you what would happen if I copy and pasted a post that I'd written in Google Docs. Because that's pretty normal, right? A lot of people will want to do that. This is a post that or really actually AI, because I don't know anything about plant care. Don't tell anyone, especially not Death Bloom customers. This is a post that I wrote earlier. And the good news is I can just copy and I can paste. And there you go. Bada bing, bada boom. Now you'll notice that this title has become the title. And each of these has become the right level for the headings, because I used the heading formatting from Google Docs. And if I use the kind of the spacing, the paragraph spacing and everything, then it'll also behave like that. Now, one thing that didn't come across is my image. That's because Google Docs actually struggles to let you take images out of Google Docs. And so I'll need to upload that separately. Let's do that now. So I've downloaded my image. I'm back in the blog post. I'm going to click choose file. And there it is, plants. It'll take a second, but it's pretty quick. And there you go. It's exactly where I put it. I'll click alt text and I can say, these are some plants. And I can even include a link if I want. Let's click insert. Now I can change the size just with these buttons. And I can change the alignment. So let's make it central. Now, at this point, what I want to do is set up my post ready to be published. I have options here, so I can choose from summary, details, and SEO. The summary is where I manage all of the things like publication date. I can set a custom date if I want, but let's say immediately. My author, so I can just type in my author name. It's great if you've got multiple people writing for your company, which many of our customers do. And then I can also change the post URL. So let's say Plant Care 101. And that'll be updated right here. And now let's click details. So I can choose a featured image, or I can search from images. Let me show you. Plants. Great. That looks good. Plants. In an office. Easy as that. And then I can write an excerpt. Let's just use this one as an example. This is probably a little long, so I'll just delete that sentence there. That's about right, 55 to 100 words. And then I can choose whether my comments are visible or hidden. So that's the post details. Now for the SEO, I can change the title if I want to. And this is about the title that will be pulled by Google search when somebody searches for Plant Care 101, hopefully. So I'm just going to use a bit of my title over here. Plant Care 101. and I'll say 5 top tips for offices. And then I can write SEO description. Keeping office plants alive and thriving requires a bit of know-how. Great. And then I can also choose a social image. So let's just choose one here. Plants. Now I might have something that I designed in, say, Canva. But for now, this is great. And I can click publish. Because I've done SEO, I've done details, and I've done summary. Now you see how easy that was compared to some other platforms out there? You know who I'm talking about. I click publish. And that is it. At that point, I have a blog post published. I can look at it. Let's open that up. And look how good that looks just out of the box. That is honestly amazing. It's on my brand because I've already set up my site. It just looks lovely. It works so nice. I can also go ahead and I can share on Facebook, share on Twitter, share on LinkedIn, and I can email my subscribers. But what if I already have blog posts somewhere else? What if I already have hundreds of blog posts somewhere else? It's going to be annoying to bring them all one by one, right? Well, the good news is with Podia, you don't have to worry about it. Let's go back to the blog and I can show you how. We'll click blog posts and we built a very easy to use importer for blog posts. So let's just open that now. And what this will allow us to do is to import blogs purely by looking at the blog's website or feed URL. Now, we can do this in a number of ways. I'm going to show you this. This is my Desk Bloom blog, except it's not really my Desk Bloom blog anymore. It looks like a default WordPress blog. And I've written a couple of blog posts here, and I'd love them all to come over in a nice, neat way. So let's imagine, though, that I've got hundreds, because realistically, a lot of people do. Maybe you do. And I want to get all of these into the right place. While most blogging platforms have a way to find the RSS feed, so that is the way that you can get your blog posts onto different readers and things like that, and WordPress has one of those. If you don't know what yours is, you can always try just pasting the domain name in, but you can also type in feed. There are also other ways. If you're really lost, for example, you can try this website, getrssfeed.com. And I know it'll show me that my RSS feed is there. So let me copy that and I'll go back to Podia. I'll paste that in and I'm going to click validate URL. So it says it found 3 blog posts. So let's either import these as drafts or we can import them as published. Because this is a video where I'm showing you how to use this, I'm just going to import them as published because YOLO. Click import posts. And I'll get this notification that says, my blog posts are importing. I'll be sent an email when the import's complete. And on that note, I'm just going to take a quick break and go make a coffee. You want to follow me? So, I mean, how does this all come together? Like, practically speaking, why should you be adding blogging into the mix? Well, there are 3 really big reasons. The first is that showing how you think in public is an incredible way for somebody to buy into your worldview about the topic that they care about. Let's say that you also have a business that helps office managers to make better use of their office spaces by adding plants and greenery to the space. Now, despite my very real business, Desk Bloom, I'm actually no expert in that topic. But if you are, right, then there is a lot of valuable information in your head that other people would pay for. Now, whether you're making that money by selling digital products through your Podia site or by using your Podia site to take coaching bookings or service bookings, writing a blog will give people a taste for what it could be like to gain from all of your experience. And speaking of reaching new people, writing on a blog that's optimized to appear in search gives you the opportunity to get all that great thinking in front of people who you have zero connection to today, but who could buy from you tomorrow. And that is incredibly exciting. So you simply write blog posts about your topic in a way that solves the problems of people who you could help through your business. And you might find that soon Google and other search engines take notice and they put you in front of your ideal customers. And that's why blogging is one of the most valuable marketing activities for so many businesses, whether online businesses or offline businesses, but definitely online businesses. And finally, blogging in the same place that you manage your email marketing has huge benefits. Now, when you write a blog post, you don't have to go to a different product to send your audience a link to the post. Using Podia email is a great way to join the dots in your revenue growth. You publish a blog post on Podia, we'll offer you a handy link to send an email right from the same browser tab. And all you have to do is write a quick announcement about it to your audience. Very simple. Your brand is there because you already use Podia email. Really nice. And plus, with Podia email, you can easily embed links to your products on Podia and even files, like for example, cheat sheets that you mentioned in the blog post directly, in your email. That's pretty sweet. And you can't do that with other products. And so it's not just about writing blogs and hoping that they rank in search. I mean, look, we did build Podia Blogging to take away a lot of that effort from you, for sure. But there are also other ways that blogging can fit into your business and drive sales over time in a way that not many other activities can. Let's now head back to Desk Bloom's Podia site, because so far we've looked at writing content, but we need to make it look great too. All right, back at it, everyone. That was a nice little coffee break. But now we've got our coffee. We're ready to go. Let's check. So if we refresh the page, we can see that the posts have now come through. So the importer has worked beautifully. But let's check these posts quickly. So I'm going to just load one up. I can see that the share image has come through. Let's click edit. And I can see that my title has come through. Let's just delete that second one there. And we can see that all of the images and everything else about these posts has come through really beautifully too. So I will just click update. And now we've got some good posts going on. This is how it looks right now. Looks pretty good. Pretty happy with that already. But let's say I want to add a little bit of color. Maybe I want to add a newsletter sign up. Maybe I want to change some of the spacing or the width or all those kind of things. How do I do that? To edit my blog and the design of it, what I need to do is click Site, and then I'll click Edit Site. And I'm taken to the website builder. Now, Podia's website builder is really easy to use. And if you've used it before, you'll know that. So I'm just going to click Homepage to bring up the menu for all of my pages. And now I can see that there are two brand new pages, Blog and Blog Post. Let's choose Blog. So by default, our blog will be in this nice grid. And I can see that all of our posts are loaded here. We can click to read post if we want to see more. And they're in this really nice kind of stacking grid style. But let's say that's not what I want. Maybe I want it to go straight down the page. Well, I can click Design. And then I can choose Arrangement. And let's say I could choose Rows. What happens when we look at that now? Well, now, that's quite something, isn't it? That looks really nice. But let's say I want to make it kind of a bit narrower. Let's see. Firstly, we can do width. Let's say we want to make it, I don't know, 960 pixels. Why not? And maybe we want to add a little bit more vertical padding and maybe a little bit more gap here. All starting to look pretty nice. And let's say that I want to change the theme. Now with the colors that we built into Podia, and when you signed up and you started using your site for the first time, you set up your own site's colors. Let's say I want to try bright. Well, I can do that. And all of my blog design gets to respond to that choice. That is beautiful. Now let's say I want to change some stuff here. So let's go to content and we'll say Desk Bloom blog. Great tips for office greening. Office greening. And you can see how nicely this all sort of responds to what I'm doing. It's updating as we go. Easy to use guides for designing green office spaces. Now, that will be pretty good, but it kind of looks off center. So let's go and we'll change the alignment of that. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to click center. Easy, right? And that's all beautiful. So let's just decrease some of that image width, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to change the layout. I think it's the grid that we're really looking for. So let's go columns. Okay. And now that's looking pretty good. I might want to change those images from portrait images to landscape images a bit later, but for now I think that's fine. Let's make those full width. And maybe let's bring that back up a little bit. And so that's how I can design the blog page. I can also add in additional elements. For example, if I wanted to add in a slim email form, in case I want to collect email addresses, I can do that here. Or let's say I don't want the slim email form. Maybe I want the larger email form, because that might look a little bit more sort of where I'm trying to go with this. So let's click email form. And now I can say, I can change this and say, get all new updates from Task Bloom. And I might add in some text here, but I'll delete those right now. And because this is integrated with Podia email, as soon as somebody signs up here, I can email them, right? I can email them, say, a welcome guide with campaigns, or I could email them, the best 5 blog posts that I've published as a message. And what that does is it gives this feeling of like, wow, this is like a real thing. I've signed up to something valuable here. And you, as the person building this website, hasn't had to think about that at all, really, which I think is pretty sweet. Like, it just works, right? So let's now look at the actual blog post. And I'm going to click blog post here. So every blog post on Podia follows the same template. So you design your blog post template once, and it works for all of your blog posts. And it looks like this when you default into it. So you get this kind of header section. This looks really nice. I'm happy with this already. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to show you what else you can do with it. And look at that type. Podia just looks great. I've got to say, I've used a lot of these site builders, and this is nice. So I'm going to click on the header here, and maybe I want my header to have like a slightly different color. So let's go and we'll say appearance. We're going to say dark. What does that look like? Ooh, looks nice, fancy. And maybe I want to do a couple of things. For example, maybe I want to hide the number of comments that I have. And maybe I want to hide that as well. I think the picture really draws people in, so I'm going to keep that. But what about if I do this? What about if I make the corners like a large sort of, I like that. It feels a bit more organic, right? That curviness, which is very in keeping with my brand. So let's just go and we'll make the layout of that also center. Yep, I like that because, it is a sort of summary. And because I want these posts to be sort of timeless, I'm just going to remove the date as well. And now all of my blog posts will look like this. So if I wanted to, I could go and I could preview a different post. So let's try this one. 10 easy to care for. Yeah, see, this still looks good. I really like this. I really like how this is going. And now, one of the frustrations that a lot of people end up having with other blogging platforms is that adding sections to their blog post template is actually quite challenging. But in Podia, that's not hard. So right below this, we're just going to add in, as I said earlier, that slim email form. So let's click slim email form. And now, right below our post meta, we're able to collect email signups. Again, this is all part of building an online business, right? It's all part of building this kind of flywheel of like, check out my content, make a commitment to sign up for a free thing, maybe then buy some products from me, and maybe buy the services later. That's pretty sweet. And I can change the design of that if I want to. Let's go for, say, this theme, bright. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I like that. Feels like a nice thing to do. And I can Yeah, I can even turn off the name field if I want to there. And now I can look at the post itself and I can say to the design, is that quite working for me? You know, maybe I want the layout to be a bit broader, but I actually think the default's pretty good. You know, maybe I want to add a little bit more space in between paragraphs to give it some room to breathe there. Maybe I want this little section up here to be a little further away, and maybe I want to do the same thing for my header. Actually, that's what I was trying to do. That's looking good now, isn't it? And I'm going to go through and, you know, I could do the theme thing here for the design, but I don't think that's going to work for me. So I'm just going to leave it. That looks great, but I want to put my bio at the bottom, right? Well, great news. My bio is right here. So it comes up with a little bio section. That doesn't look like me at all. So let's go and we can choose this. We can choose vivid. Nice. We'll make the design a little different. Let's do left, center. Let's make that image smaller. Let's make the width smaller too. Yeah, okay, looking good. I like that. Maybe we make this square and we make the corners so that they're rounded. Yep, pretty cool. Maybe I'll make that smaller again. That is exactly what I want here, right? So, and then I'm able to kind of, you know, maybe I want to move this down. So let's move that down there. Maybe I want that to happen after the comments. But actually, I think that, you know, given well, the point of a blog post is to get our thinking across, I'm just going to leave it like that. And then the other thing I can do is look at the comments. So we can turn on comment avatars. We can also change the design of this and the theme as well. And remember, you can turn off comments for any blog post that you like. You just edit those in the post itself. And that is more or less what we're going to get. So let's just publish this now. And actually, let's add in here a link to our blog. So we can click page and we'll click blog. See, nice and easy. Publish. Now when I click view site, I'll be able to look at this. I'll be able to go to this page, check that out. Oh my gosh. How long did that take us? What, like 10 minutes? Imagine trying to do that on a different platform. I can tell you, it would be hard. But right now, this is all looking really, really good. I am happy with that. Now, one of the questions that we get asked when we launch new features is, understandably, how much extra does this cost me? And pal, here's the good news. You can set up your Podia blog right now. It's free and it's available on all plans. Now, even on Podia's free plan, you can build your website and your blog with a Podia subdomain. But if you want to add your own domain, you can do that with a starter plan for as little as $4 per month. That is incredible value that you just don't find other places. And that's not all either. Over the last few months, we've released a lot of major updates to Podia's website builder and Podia email too, always with the aim of making it as easy as possible for you to run your business and for me to run Desk Bloom, obviously. Right? But there's a lot of great updates on the way from Podia over the next year too. And if you're considering whether the platform's right for you, then I gotta say, I think you're gonna have a very pleasant surprise when you make the jump to Podia. You can expect to see more website updates and blogging features come over the course of this year. So that's it for today. But just to recap, anyone can start a blog on Podia for free. You get all the features that you'd expect from a blog, easy customization of your blog's design, and a joyous writing experience. And you also get all of the other tools that you need to run your business because they're included, such as an easy-to-use website builder, a checkout to sell your digital products and host them too, and free email marketing for up to 100 subscribers. Now, if you already have a blog on another platform, using our new importer, you can move all of that over to Podia at an incredibly fast pace. So, whether you're a Podia customer, and have been for years, or whether you use other products, now is the time to build your blog on Podia. It will become so valuable for you so fast. And as ever, I can't wait to see what you're going to build. Thanks for watching. See you in a future update.